For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Deterioration in mutual respect is at the root of the island's crime problem. We will be discussing during the course of our broadcast this afternoon. Also, I told you about a Dominican government minister and what he said indirectly about a particular island as far as its ability to process passports on a timely basis. All that and more between now and 2 o'clock right here on the most monitored talk show in the world. And you'll be able to call at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. I'm told that we might be able to take your WhatsApp calls. So we'll be carrying out an experiment. I think that whatever technical issue that we were experiencing over the last week and a half or so, that has been rectified, and we'll be trying to engage you via your WhatsApp calls. But for certain, you could send us your WhatsApp messages as well. Kimani is here, and she'll be going through some of your comments in the chat room. We have a breaking story. President of the Barbados-based Caribbean Development Bank, Dr. Jean Leon, has resigned with immediate effect from the regional financial institution. According to a 3-page letter sent to the bank by his St. Lucia-based lawyers, Leon is of the opinion that he will never be treated fairly after he had been sent on administrative leave in January of this year. It is also evident that the bank has lost all trust and confidence in our client by the failure of the Board of Governors to prevent the continued violations of its charter, policies, rules, and regulations with regard to its elected president. The story continues. Our client has therefore made the extremely difficult decision to resign his elected position of the president of the bank with immediate effect. The lawyers have given the regional financial institution until May the 4th to negotiate an amicable separation, indicating also that that the correspondence should be viewed as our client's pre-action protocol letter regarding the entire situation. In the 3-page letter dated April the 21st of 2024 and headlined Dr. Jean Leon, Resignation and Constructive Dismissal, a copy of which has been obtained by the Caribbean Media Corporation, Leon St. Lucia-based lawyers said they would be moving to the courts in Barbados or any other jurisdiction more appropriate to enforce our client's legal and constitutional rights. End of quote. In January, it was disclosed that Dr. Leon had been sent on administrative leave. Let me read it again. Please bear with me. In January, it was disclosed that Dr. Leon had been sent on administrative leave until April of this year, as an ongoing administrative process continued at the region's premier financial institution. The CDB has remained mum on the circumstances surrounding the decision to send the St. Lucian-born economist on administrative leave, with the acting president Isaac Solomon confirming at a bank news conference in February that there is an internal administrative process involving the president. In their letter, the lawyers wrote that on April the 16th of 2024, 40 hours after our client's leave expired, our client received a letter of notification of leave extension signed by the chairman of the OAC with respect to the investigation. We are uncertain at this stage of the significance of this, as the OAC is not the board of directors and the board of directors is not the OAC. The meeting on April 16, 2024 was another breach of the bank's bylaws, the charter and its policies, the lawyers wrote. In their letter, the lawyers noted that the Board of Governors have never responded to them regarding our letters of complaint about the manner in which the investigation has been initiated and allowed to continue. Our many letters consistently complained that the bank has breached and is in violation of its own charter, laws, rules, regulations, and policies as regards the conduct of an investigation pertaining to the elected president. They wrote that central to the complaint is that their client has only been informed of the general, bare-bones nature of the wide complaints leveled against him. These complaints continue to be bare, non-specific allegations without condescending to any particulars of the circumstances of the complaints, including, but not limited to, dates, subjects, places, or references to the evidence to support the grave and serious allegations made against our client. The lawyers wrote that the initiation of the investigations was and continues to be in violation of Annex 10 of the ICA procedures for special investigations, the Code of Conduct for Directors, and Uniform Principles and Guidelines for Investigations, and many other policies of the bank and its charter. The lawyers said in their view, the conduct of the investigation has been unconventional, does not follow due process, and does not adhere to the best practices reflected in the more established multilateral development banks. All of these complaints have been maliciously set out in our previous letters, they said, adding, we are therefore of the opinion that the grave procedural irregularities fatally taint the initiation and continuation of the investigation, rendering it null and void. The lawyers said that Leon's wrongful suspension ended on April the 14th this year, and that he endeavored to return to work the following day, despite the embarrassment of his forced and unlawful leave and the humiliation of not having received any communication prior to the expiration of leave. They said Leon also wrote the Director of Human Resources to have his access to the bank restored and to have returned to him his laptop, iPad, and iPhone so that he could carry out his duties as president. We also sent a letter to the Board of Governors suggesting an orderly process for our client's return to work, consequent on the termination of the forced leave and wrongful suspension imposed on him. Our client received an email after the end of the working day from the Director, Human Resources, stating that he had no authority so to act to restore our clients access to the bank and the return of his devices. There's a piece extracted from the website of the Trinidad Guardian, but produced by the Caribbean Media Corporation. And CDB President resigns with immediate effect, but all indications are that he'll be taking legal action against the CDB. Remember, he was sent on leave in January of this year. He was supposed to return by middle of April, and that certainly did not materialize, and therefore Jean Leo, St. Lucian economist and the former president of the CDB, resigning from that financial institution. We'll be monitoring and we'll be reporting on any developments. So the traditional throne speech was delivered earlier today by His Excellency Acting Governor General Errol Charles. You would have watched, you would have listened, you would have been inspired. Were you inspired? Because I wasn't. The delivery was awful. It's as if he had not read the speech, and it certainly would not have motivated the audience to believe that he himself believes that what he was reading was actually something that was workable, something that could be achieved. But I don't want to be unduly critical of the acting Governor General. Just an observation that I'm making, that it was uninspiring in terms of his delivery, and how we miss the Governor General Emeritus, and that is, of course, Dr. Paulette Louisi. But let's look at the content, and let's not focus on the delivery. When he spoke about the deterioration in the level of civility in our country, he says there, deterioration in mutual respect is at the root of the island's crime problem. Let us hear from Acting Governor General Errol Charles.
It is a concern of my government that the level of civility and respect for each other continue to decline. The glue of mutual respect, a social imperative, especially in the absence of agreement, is the only way we can keep communities and the wider society together. Our children should be allowed to grow up in an environment where there is respect for those in authority, parents, teachers, police, civil and religious leaders. Equally, those in authority should live up to their responsibilities as leaders by being good examples to follow. This deterioration in mutual respect is at the root of the scourge of crime and indiscipline that we are facing in our country today. We can do better. And so I call upon all St. Lucians to do more to reverse this deterioration. Because if we do, our quality of life will improve. We should not give up our natural joy as a people to despair, anger, greed, and envy.
The island's acting Governor General, Errol Charles. Very interesting. And here comes the hypocrisy. Our children should be allowed to grow up within an environment where there is respect for those in authority. Parents, teachers, police, civil and religious leaders. Equally, those in authority should live up to their responsibilities as leaders by being good examples to follow. And that's the thing we have been discussing on this broadcast. People in authority in St. Lucia, whether they are leading by example, whether their actions are worthy of emulation. More than that, according to the acting GG, the deterioration in mutual respect is at the root of the island's crime problem. This thing about mutual respect in our society, where you do not descend to a particular level whereby you start to engage in character assassination at the slightest bit of provocation, where people cannot discuss things, cannot argue without them being verbally abusive, without them making reference to your height, your complexion, your size, your age. Let us try as best as possible to be cerebral, because that is what is expected of people in our society who are deemed to be educated, people in the society who are in leadership positions, people in the society who are deemed to be role models, people who are serving in leadership at various levels of our country. And I wholeheartedly hope that this is not just lip service. I hope that the government will lead by example as far as this is concerned, because it is just about being the main culprit as far as the deterioration in mutual respect that the acting Governor General is making reference to. And to quote him again, our children should be allowed to grow up within an environment where there is respect for those in authority, parents, teachers, police, civil, and religious leaders. Equally, those in authority should live up to their responsibilities as leaders by being good examples to follow. Let us hear from you right now at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. And we'll try to see if we are in a position to take your WhatsApp calls today. So you can call via 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. And of course, I have some of your WhatsApp messages that I will be going through, and Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room as well. And let me see if I have any of your messages to go through at this time. No, not any. And let's see if Kimani has any comments in the chat room that she is in a position to read at this time, while we are awaiting your calls. Once again, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Kimani, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim. In a chat room, someone says, this is the longest acting GG ever. He can be an actor in Bollywood movies. Is he not good to be appointed by the present government?
I suspect the government wants to, this is just me thinking loudly, that the government maybe wants to get rid of the acting GG, but they don't know how. Maybe the Prime Minister does not know how, because that's the only conclusion that I can reach right now. He has been acting now for, a little over 2 years, maybe 2 years now. He has been acting in that position. And maybe it's a case that he's still auditioning for the job.
Maybe. Another question on the acting Governor General. Why is the Governor General acting for so long? Isn't he qualified to be permanent? Advertise the job and get someone more qualified. Another comment, the actor doesn't watch the House proceedings, the hypocrisy with the actor. Someone is claiming, my first problem with the speech is saying my government, why not the government? Someone says, I hope that message gets across. I hope that message gets home. Someone says, all people like this man are useless. They know of the nonsense taking place in this government, but yet remain quiet. He's bent on destroying the country to own a dollar. That is it, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. Once again, 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. I think we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says, Tim, I'm calling on the Ministry of Infrastructure to patch this section of the road right in the corner opposite Manger Dormi in Deriso. This has caused several accidents and is very dangerous. This is the year of infrastructure, and the acting Governor General repeated this a couple of occasions, and definitely he's saying that the government will be delivering as far as infrastructure is concerned. And the Prime Minister has been saying, remember, infrastructure is not only about roads, it's about buildings, it's about a number of other areas, building houses for citizens, among others. We have a call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Oh, so you're not hearing me. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir, can you hear me now?
Tim, good afternoon.
Yes, sir, good afternoon.
Yeah,
Okay.
almost not hearing you clearly.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Who normally wrote speech for the Governor General? Not the Prime Minister?
Well, it's not the Prime Minister really who literally writes the speech, but it would be done by technocrats in the government.
Because, I mean, I don't know.
Can you hear me, caller?
Huh?
Can you hear me? You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you better
All right,
now.
okay.
I don't know in the south way. But anyway, I'm hearing you better. Because what I'm saying, that is a lovely speech.
A lovely speech.
What the Governor General said there, I believe in it and I accept in it.
Yeah, but the whole speech for me, boring.
No, Tim, the clip you played
Just
there.
the clip. You impressed? All right, you.
Yeah, the minute clip, whatever it wasn't long. I didn't hear it from the Governor General. I didn't listen to. But then what you played there to me is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But then the problem I have with it are those in that rank of, because I know he's a political appointee, are they following what he's saying? Because they talk about children should be obeyed, this and even the police. But I mean, ever since this government came to, now I don't like to criticize the government. I mean, every time criticizing them, I know they are doing a few good things. But then, if you want to find the most arrogant or person that is behaving bad, it is in this government, you know. Because the business of the country, as though it belongs to them. I mean, can you imagine the last time a question was posed to the Prime Minister, and he clearly tell the person, the person, that's not your business. So, is that was a good behavior, Tim? Yeah.
You tell me, caller. You tell me. The floor is yours. You tell me.
No, but if you are running a country and you don't have nothing to hide, I mean, you want to be, you said you were transparent and accountability. You can tell, I mean, and that was pertinent question that has a lot to do with the country itself. So to say, and he never apologized for that, say he was sorry by making that statement. And to move on again, what are they even as we speak? Do you have any new information about global port holding in terms of port casters and port soufre, in terms of if it was sold or rent?
Yeah, you know the answer. You know the answer to that question.
Tim, I don't know. I just don't know. And we're talking about an issue that is so critical. We're talking about something that the state should, in case things, I mean, revenue not flowing anywhere, to depend on that to make some money. And it have been removed in our hands where we have no control of it and give it to a foreign entity. And it is just stopped there. Nobody said nothing and we just accepted it like that. Just accept it and that's it. I mean, I was referred, I thought the opposition would have seriously taken that on serious. Because that just cannot be. There's no room to accept that. We're talking about our port, Our port, and we were in the Caribbean. We heard that St. Lucia have one of the most the beautiful harbor in the Caribbean in terms of the way it was designed. And to lose that, to give it to a foreign entity, we don't have no document, nothing to tell us how it's going to be developed, how much money did the country going to gain from that, if it is rent, if it's in US, in EC. The release just came in the office of the Prime Minister, and we just have to accept that. And to make matters worse, while that is going to continue, the port of Beaufort cannot be developed. There's nothing cannot be done on that port, maybe until the agreement is over. Because I can say maybe, because these are just speculation, because I don't have nothing, I don't read anything, I don't see anything, so that at least I cannot say maybe something could happen to other ports while there's business transaction. I simply call that was just totally a reckless deal, and you don't behave like that in a country. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's see if we can try to get a WhatsApp call. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Tim,
sir.
I would just like to find out, is the project at St. Jude, is that done, or what's happening with St. Jude's? Because I'm not hearing anything.
Well,
Solution, forget about St. Jude's. St. Jude, we don't need St. Jude's anymore.
The Governor General said that the project is ongoing. Hello?
Well, Tim. Yes, Tim.
Yes.
Anyway, I get to see.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you so much. The acting Governor General said that the project is very much ongoing. So that is our first WhatsApp call in about, a little over a week, almost 2 weeks. So continue. It's working now. So continue to call via WhatsApp if you care to at 716-2026. That's 716-2026. And also 452-2979. That's 452-2979. But the acting Governor General did speak about the St. Jude Hospital project, and he says that it is very much on. The chat room. Kimani, what is happening there?
In the chat room, someone says, every Gigi says, my government. That's a common practice. Another comment in the chat, someone says, caller, the PM cannot write his own speech. You think he will be able to write the speech for the governor? Another comment, someone says, the people elect the government for the king. That is it in the chat, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. Let's see if we have some of your WhatsApp messages to go through. And somebody says there, good afternoon, what is going on with the General Post Office after the workers had downed their tools? Unfortunately, we have not been receiving any updates from the General Post Office regarding a strike which occurred there just a few days ago. Let's see if we have another call in line. Once again, the WhatsApp calls at 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. WhatsApp message. Tim, it's a mess in the country. 26th of April, 30 plus murder, no talk of true crime. Well, today is not the 26th. Today is actually the 23rd, right? The 23rd day of April. No talk of true crime fighting solutions, no talk of forensic or data tracing. Police shooting and assaulting crime remains on a high. We need new techniques. And very interesting, the acting Governor General has made reference to crime en passant. I think he spent less than 2 minutes on this grave problem. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Timothy, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Murphy, I am a supporter of the United Workers' Party, but I will tell you today I am disappointed in Alan Shastney's non-appearance at the throne speech. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hold on, caller. But I think he's attending a conference in the United States. I'm not aware if the conference is still on, but the last time I checked, he was in the United States.
Priority should have been given to the thousands of persons who voted for him. That is the priority, not what in the United States.
What difference does it make? Technology. He could just watch the speech on his phone.
Timothy, being present and technology, there is two difference. Okay, Timothy?
Okay.
If we want to go down that road, Timothy, well, we should just use everything for technology.
All right,
Thank
caller.
you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your point of view with us. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. A caller says that he is a supporter of the United Workers' Party and is very disappointed that the leader of the parliamentary opposition, was also the leader of the UWP, was not at the joint sitting of the House today, and that is to witness the delivery of the traditional throne speech by the acting Governor General, Errol Charles. But does it really make a difference? I'm just putting the question out to you as we continue to discuss the issues in the news and matters of concern to you. Does it make a difference, Kimani, whether the leader of the opposition is in the House or not during that joint sitting to witness the delivery of the throne speech? Does it make a difference?
I think it does, Tim.
Yeah.
And as much as technology is available and he was able to see it wherever he is, I think it makes much of a difference if he's there physically.
I see. So you believe it has everything to do with the optics, just seeing him seated there and witnessing that delivery of that speech, and his presence is being felt, etc. Yeah.
As is everything else in St. Lucia, the optics.
But I don't know whether he's preoccupied with that particular event or meeting that he recently attended in the United States. I don't know if that meeting is still on, but I guess at some point he will be addressing the reason or reasons for his absence from the proceedings earlier today. The broadcast will continue just a moment with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We'll be hearing from an individual comes across as somebody who could predict the future because of a decision that he took and what is happening now on the basis of the decisions of a number of Caribbean islands. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's NewsSpin.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Get ready to turn up the heat with KFC's blazing burn-a-box deal. For only $30, you'll feast on 2 succulent chicken pieces. Dive into the exclusive new bacon melt sandwich, savor crispy regular fries, and wash it all down with a refreshing regular drink. But wait, tune into the radio and keep an eye on social media for limited discount tickets and ticket giveaways to see Burna Boy on May 3rd. One lucky winner and 3 friends will snag VIP and backstage passes. Just grab your Burna box, jot your name and number on the receipt, and drop it in the box provided for your chance to win. Ignite your taste adventure with KFC's Burna Box today.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more with flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more with flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, can't stop. Unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 #sign to activate.
Now that's the new vibe and the lingo. Yes. More upon more so the tingo. It's more with flow, now you really know. Get you now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miko Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. On the fringe of St. Lucia Jazz, yet taking main focus is Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. Featuring Taunton Legend, Future Lights, Robsai and Finesse, TYP, Ricky T, Jefferson John, Headliners, Nyla Blackman. Skinny Fabulous, Taurus Riley, she's royal, yeah, so royal. Presented by the Soufre Event Management Organization. Sunday, May 5th at the Soufre Mini Stadium from 3 p.m. General admission $130 EC, VIP $400 EC. Get your tickets at fourcirclestickets.com. SRDF, The Cell, Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience.
Hey guys, guess what? Because your dad deserves more, Europa is giving more. They're bringing back the wow on Friday, June 14th with the very popular Culture Day for Father's Day. Last year was a blast and this year will be explosive. So fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, all the dads of St. Lucia and all the moms who stand for dad, we are knocking out 15% discount on all pressure washers, vacuum cleaners, upholstery cleaners, in fact, on all carton machines. And that's not all. With turbo impact drills, rotary hammer drills, angle grinders, power saws, jigsaws, and sanders too. This year we are throwing the kitchen sink out for dads.
Monsieur, ça non vle encore. Pour like the week.
Europa June 14th. I'm not.
So just moments ago, somebody called and claiming to be a supporter of the United Workers' Party and expressing disappointment in the absence of the leader of the opposition at the joint sitting of the island's parliament earlier today. Well, he's actually monitoring NewsSpin, and that is from the United States. And according to the leader of the opposition, my wife developed a medical situation which requires surgery. I'm here with her. I hope I can update shortly on my schedule. This was unexpected and happened on Friday. So the leader of the opposition is dealing with a family emergency, and that is why he could not have attended the joint sitting of the island's parliament this morning. Your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. That's 716-2026. Kimani is monitoring the chat room. A report.
In the chat room, someone says, "Good afternoon, 758 Spinners. Trying to understand something. The government speaks to respect, but their meaning of respect is subjugation, oppression, muzzling, non-conforming media personalities, and all forms of dissent, totalitarianism, and memorizing the people. Take it in your pipe or curse me if you wish to." Someone says, "Why is the throne speech so important to blackety black man who is against slave masters and former colonists?" Another comment, "Caller, are you going to do a one-man protest? You'll need to stop talking." That's it.
Thank you so much. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How you doing?
I'm okay. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I don't know why some callers would call into your program the most monitored structure in the world and play games. This caller before is not a UWP supporter. I don't know why they just stop these games or
What gives you the impression that he's not a supporter of the UWP? Do you know
he's not a United Workers.
You know everyone who is a supporter of the UWP?
Tim, I know these political tricks to try to deceive people. That caller before me is not a UWP, but moving forward. There's so many in Lucia right now, Tim, such as shortages of sugar, rice, basic commodities. Why didn't this caller profit the opportunity to call your show and apply pressure on his government to ensure that we have regular supply of sugar, rice, and flour in the country? Why? Which that is creating havoc in the country. People no longer feel safe. Why did this caller not profit the opportunity to call on his government to ensure that they put measures in place that the people can feel safe in the country? We have a problem at the hospitals where there's no medication. There's no basic things like chips cannot get at the hospital. Why did this caller profit the opportunity to call on his government to ensure that it's provided? Rather than try to call and play games and say you're UWP, when everybody knows common sense that you do not support the United Workers' Party. You have a government that is clueless. You're writing. I listened to this Governor General Throne speech, and it was not inspiring. It was lackluster. It tells me that he did not read the speech, and it was just horrible. That's the worst Throne speech I've ever heard in my history.
Okay, I think we have lost the caller. All right, my apologies to you, sir. We have lost you. We did not deliberately cut your or preempt your contribution. Maybe you can call back. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if we have... No, we don't have another call, but somebody says there, understood that the chairman of the CIP has resigned, and what is happening? Okay, this is the first for me. I was hoping again if somebody can clarify this, can provide information as to whether the chairman of the CIP has resigned or not. We have a call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello? Okay, we have lost the call. 452-2979, and you can also contribute via your WhatsApp calls. We will try again to see if we can put this call on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Timothy.
Hi, good afternoon to you, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
Oh, fine, thanks. Yeah, it's lovely and sunny out there.
Okay, nice to know that.
Tim, what? As we can see, there is a fundamental difference between this government and the leader of the opposition, the UWP party. Now, the leader of the opposition has taken his wife abroad to have private treatment. Can you see this happening in this day and age to any of us in this country? Would we have private treatment in this country?
So
we had the opportunity.
So definitely we need to improve our health sector so it could improve the quality of the service that is being provided.
Yes, but if the roles were reversed, we had, say, UWP in power, the people in this country would have no problems because they would have private treatment in this country. They wouldn't have to go abroad. Can you see the difference between the two?
So I think you have a crystal ball to make that kind of statement. You believe that if the UWP was in office right now,
yes,
the health institution, the quality of health care being provided would have been a lot better. On what basis?
Oh, it would have been a lot better.
On what basis? On promises made in the run-up to the last general election?
Yeah, on that basis.
Well, we all know that politicians do make promises because it's very easy to do. But the delivery, that is always the issue.
Yeah. So you don't think we would be better off health-wise?
It's not whether I think or not. It is politicians have a track record when it comes to making promises to the electorate. And for so long now, governments have been promising to improve the quality of health care on the island. And this has not happened.
Right, okay.
All right, ma'am?
I get your point.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good afternoon. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says that, Tim, can I get an update on the 2-lane highway? They stopped the project near the roundabout. Okay, I think that's an issue for the Ministry of Infrastructure to provide us an update if they have. Another person says, Tim, the person said they are disappointed, but was the speech of any importance? And yes, Tim, he is not a supporter of the United Workers' Party. Another one says, Tim, that's no UWP supporter. He just wanted to raise something for SLP to call. I hope the caller is happy. This is not a UWP supporter. Okay, all right. Another contribution via WhatsApp. I think this one is quite long, but we await your calls at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Tim, as I've asked before, who's representing hoteliers? Those private sector need to be investigated. I work at a hotel and management is trying to gain Tim, it's like our jobs are being threatened because we failed twice already and management insists that we must get it, or whomever that caused us not to get it will be fired. So here we have pages of documents to read and sign to say we understand. To tell me a little training was given to team members, but here we are signing documents to say we understand. Since trying to obtain the 5-star, most managers are either person of color or Bajans, something Bajans will never accept. With no pay increase since 2018, we are pressured into giving our best. All you hear is the hotel and the union are in negotiations for an increase. Years now and still nothing. We need proper representation. We need locals to also be part of management to stand for our own. And another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, the Castries City Council cutting the grass by the road and not cleaning the drain that happened in Bassin Joseph. We need the drain to be cleaned. That will do it for your WhatsApp messages. I think we have another one just coming in. I wonder how is it diplomats and ministers travel with the media flight system. I haven't stopped in Barbados to go to Antigua. It's literally impossible to move around the Caribbean without having to stop in another island. Street lights to countries are very difficult. I would like to know what is being in place for this. Did not really understand what the contributor was the message that person was conveying. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Yes, Kimani, in the chat room, what's happening?
In the chat room, someone says, Tim, the fish complex up north down there too this morning. What is going on?
I think that happened yesterday, so maybe it's continuing today.
Right. Another comment, and caller, the hospital in VF is nowhere a hospital should be. The caller has a point on the health issue, Tim. Someone also says, Tim, you know that Chas always delivers on his promises to the citizens. Another comment, prayers to the incoming PM on behalf of his family. Hope she will get well soon. These comments are usually so hilarious. The incoming PM, Tim.
Well, I mean, in the run-up to the last general election, somebody made sections of the media, particularly at NBC, they're describing the then political leader, Philip J. Pierre, as the prime minister in waiting. My producer is laughing. as the prime minister in waiting. You understand? So, copycats.
Incoming PM. Another comment, because he said that he's a UWP supporter, that is why he is not. That's what labels come with, and you heard his voice. So they're calling this caller out. He is not a supporter of the United Workers' Party. That's it in the chat, Tim.
Yeah, those hacks know another hack, so they could smell you out, Because, white dogs go out there and, and smell the behind of another dog. Why you're
asking why?
Yeah, why you think
I'm assuming to know who that dog, I'm guessing.
What kind of dog I'm dealing with, what kind of creature, the sex, whether it's male or female,
right?
The character. So maybe the flubbers, they could sense, well, just on his tone.
They know he's not a
I'm
supporter.
I'm an
And a supporter would never ask that question anyways.
I'm an F-flubber. 452-2979. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let me see there. Think we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says, we'll try another WhatsApp message. Okay, good afternoon, Tim. This is true. We Lucians will need visa to travel to Martinique. And we have another. Do we have a call? No. We have a call coming in. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Timothy.
Good afternoon to you.
That's the individual that is not a supporter. You know, Timothy, that is why,
What's your name, caller? What's your name?
Timothy, I will not give my name on air. No, I will not. And I am 100% supporter of the United Workers' Party.
Prove your flubber.
Huh?
What's your name?
Timothy, I said I will not give my name. Over there, I will not give my name.
Okay.
Timothy, Timothy, I will not give Timothy.
You are from which constituency?
I'm a businessman. I call to criticize something that my opposition leader did, and then he sent you a message or whatever. What is the issue in that? So everything has to be perfect? Nobody can criticize? Open up? Huh? What's the issue in that? I mean, that is why we're not... And what those fellas are doing there, Timothy, those fellas are just more pushing people away. So if somebody want to call and criticize and say something publicly, they're not feeling comfortable to do that?
But this is a small territory, caller. And you say that you're a businessman, you don't want to identify yourself, but you don't believe so many people would know you by your voice if you are truly a businessman?
Timothy, I've given you the information correct, and I will not disclose my name. Okay? Thank you very much.
All right. Somebody say that he's calling from Bellevue. Another person say that he's calling from the Valley. So I don't know. But let's not make this about the program, okay? But I know that NewsSpin is a program where that's very unpredictable. Predictably unpredictable. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Somebody says there, it does not make an iota of difference that Alan Shastin was not present at the throne speech. I share your opinion. I don't think the point in my making any contribution on NewsSpin because you have never read. Okay, all right. I just read your contribution. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Tim. How are you doing?
I am okay, Mr. Peter Josie. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes. I called because there's something that has a clip. In fact, more than one body sent me a clip, a video of this lady who published a book with Mr. Ellis and Mr. DeVoe, A History of St. Lucia. And in her presentation, she put a lot of unnecessary criticisms on Alan Chastney. Unnecessary because I think all she did was to expose herself as a supporter of the St. Lucia Labour Party. There's nothing wrong with that, but I thought that she would go beyond making herself a member or a supporter of the Labour Party. But the thing that she said that really put me off, and I had to comment on it, was when she said that if Compton, Sir John Compton, was alive, he would never have voted for Alan Chastney. He would have voted for Philip Pierre.
Yeah.
And Timothy, a lot of St. Lucians who can hear me will remember that it was Sir John Compton who took Alan Chastney from wherever he was in the hotel industry, made him a senator, appointed him a senator, and almost immediately appointed him Minister of Tourism. I'm sure you recall, and a lot of St. Lucians recall.
Yeah.
And I have been in government. I love politics. I've never made any bones about it. I try my best to defend politicians from both sides because I think it takes a level of gumption, a level of guts, knowing the kind of image that people have of people in St. Lucia and elsewhere in the world, actually, the image they have of politicians generally. But that woman disappointed me so much, especially when she referred to Alan Chastney and saying that although she is taking a long look of history, when you're doing history, you must take a long look. She had 6 people after 40-something years or 45 years of independence, and she has made a judgment of Alan that doesn't fit there. I will say to you, in my humble estimation, I think this is not an intellectual input which I thought that she was making, right? And I have a name for such intellectual people, and I call them the intellectual dishonesty. There's another name that I can substitute for dishonesty, but I will not do that on your program. In fact, I'll not do it anyway, right? But there are other names that I can substitute. After 45 years of independence, we reached a stage in the economic development of St. Lucia where bananas, which had taken us so far, is now under so much heavy challenge that farmers are producing bananas which we can't sell. Timothy, I was Minister of Agriculture. At one point, I was directly responsible for the banana industry in St. Lucia. That was my portfolio. And I saw the destruction of the banana industry. I was almost powerless to do anything about it. By the time Sir John left, brought in Vaughan Lewis, and Vaughan invited me to work with him as Minister of Agriculture, it was too late. Those who were in power at the time, I think Dr. Anthony was Prime Minister, they had totally sold out, I use the word sold out advisedly, to the Banana Salvation Committee. These guys had no management skills, Timothy. They were not even committed, I would say, wholly to supporting the Labour Party. I was a member of the Senate when these guys, the government of the Labour Party, literally abandoned the St. Lucia Banana Growers Association, squashed it completely, formed a new company in the name of the Banana Salvation Committee, almost gave it to Patrick Joseph. And what has happened now? That company has been dissolved. Nobody knows for certain what the future of the banana industry is going to be. I don't know the Minister of Agriculture personally, but I feel sorry for him. I can empathize with him. I know the kind of pressure he's under. But you know, we St. Lucians allowed Patrick Joseph and the Banana Salvation Committee, including the friends that Patrick had in the Labour Party, to destroy the banana industry. So we had to have a new industry, the one most available, the fastest growing one, was tourism. And the most competent and reliable minister of tourism was Alan Shastri, and is still Alan Shastri. And this young man who worked with him, what's his name, was Minister of Tourism?
Dominic Fede.
Dominic Fede. These two guys, I believe, was a godsend for St. Lucia at the time, especially when it came to the tourism industry. Besides, I also believe, Timothy, I may be wrong because we are human beings. Alan is a man like every other man. The only person I can see right now on the horizon in politics in St. Lucia who has been in government and who will have the gonads, the balls to stand up to the kind of exploitation that is taking place in the CIP, with foreign entities being given endless passports as a means of investing money in St. Lucia. And they're copying, St. Lucians are copying from St. Kitts the nonsense that corrupt politicians are doing. We don't know half the story, Timothy. The only person I can see, I'm sorry to say that, because we should have more than one politician, both in the government and in opposition. We should have more than one, man and woman, men and women, who would stand up for St. Lucia. But I'm saying so in all honesty. The only one I can see standing up for St. Lucia and squashing this nonsense is Alan Shastri. And for this woman to come and make Alan Shastri look as if he was not ready, he's almost a misfit, and this woman is out of place. And you know, one of the things, I don't want to say this too long, one of the things I've discovered about some white people is the arrogance these people have. Nobody knows where this woman is from. Nobody knew her in Beaufort. She saw an opportunity in Beaufort. She saw an empty piece of land. The representative, Dr. Anthony, looked as if he was absent or welcoming every Tom, Dick, and Harry with open hands. What has become of the town of Beaufort? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry who comes now can speak on behalf of Beaufort, can pontificate, and the Labour Party remains quiet. When it was Alan Shastri contesting, you know, Alan was born in Martinique. We all know that. His parents have explained why the mother had to go to Martinique to give birth to her son. He was raised there. He did his schooling there. Everything about Alan is St. Lucian. His father sent him away maybe too long. The father speaks fluent patois, Creole. I don't know that Alan is that fluent. He probably never even bothered to learn. I'm sure he understands it. But this person comes, all of the people who were criticizing Alan's white skin in the last election, we don't want no white man, no this, no that, no bloody stupidness going on. Today, a white woman can come from wherever she comes. None of them know where her birth certificate is from. She can come and stand up in St. Lucia on the media and criticize Alan Shastri, whom the people have already voted for in the elections before the last, to make Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And I dare say he had more vision than all of the present people in government put together. And all of them, what they're doing now, they're not calling St. Lucia First World. I saw something that went up just on that large bridge just before you turn into the Bonte Gap, calling it what city it is, Rodney Bay City. All of the vision, they're not calling it First World, because First World is all Alan Shastri. And the Creole people in St. Lucia, when they have First World, they think you're talking about white world. So they don't want to hear that. The Labour Party is smart enough. They're not calling anything First World, no matter how developed the thing looks. And it's a nice looking plan. But all of those plans, Timothy, in my humble opinion, are coming after the creative genius, the foresight of Alan Shastri, including the hospital. These fools didn't see it necessary to finish that 4-lane road that was coming all the way from Shock Bridge to Groseley. But now they are finding NewsSpin. There was some event inside there. You know, they cut a little path and there was some kind of event there. Now they have all kind of things, and jazz is coming. So they want to jazz up the place and make it look bad. But the road is an eyesore in everybody's eyes. And everybody who can think would ask, why is that road not completed? And that is the question the Labour Party would have to answer. Why is Iwanora Airport going to always be second class behind Barbados and very soon even behind St. Vincent and Grenada and Antigua and all of these little islands. All the Labour Party is doing is seeing after themselves and their friends. And you know what, Timothy? The same way they describe the UWP, you know, their friends, their this and that, that is what they do. They are masters at camouflage, masters at deception, masters at having schemes that will benefit them first, their friends, and you know, the other one. But that woman is out of place. She's out of place. And in another country where you have serious people, it wouldn't matter whether she was supporting opposition or government. St. Lucians would have fallen in her backside and get her to leave us alone. You know, she even criticized Guy Ellis, who worked with one of the best journalists St. Lucia ever produced, Sinclair Daniel, Mr. Sinclair Daniel. She said she criticized, edited Guy Ellis' work. Who woman is that? How many people will come and tell you they edited Guy Ellis? You know what I'm saying? Guy Ellis? Not the Guy Ellis I know. Guy Ellis took the history from 67 onwards, and she took it from Second World War. Who the hell are you? What do you know about St. Lucia in Second World War? You read like everybody else can read. Go to England, go to the archives in England or wherever. Anybody who has the money can do that. You know, she's making it look like DeVoe and Ellis had almost no contribution in the history of St. Lucia. She alone knows. And that's typical of how Labour Party supporters and the Labour Party itself operates. You know, I and I alone know everything. You know, this kind of bloody hypocrisy, double speak, you know. People talk about white. I don't want to dwell on that because the complexion does not matter. When a person is dishonest, they can be white or black or yellow or any complexion. Okay, dishonesty and double speak and trying to mama-guy people. You don't have to be white to be that way. Neither do you have to be black to be that way. You understand what I'm saying? So I just thought I would call to make a strong point and to refute all the stupid statements that woman made, especially those that were criticizing Alan Sharkey. We must not allow these things to happen in St. Lucia. And they can do what they want. We St. Lucians have to organize ourselves to get a government that would finish St. Jude Hospital properly, that would give us the best terminal building we can so that we can compete effectively with Bridgetown or Trinidad or any other terminal building in this part of the world. We want a four-lane highway from Gozile to Viewport and eventually from Viewport to Supre. You understand? This is the kind of government we want, and we want to try our best to bring back agriculture, whether it's through bananas, whether it's through root crops or whatever. Okay, Timothy?
Right,
and the business sector will continue to do what we can to bring business and to have St. Lucians qualified as accountants and all kinds of qualifications, especially in the medical industry, to work in the hospitals. All right, Timothy?
All right, Mr. Josie. Thank you so much.
I know I've taken a lot of time, and I'm grateful to you for giving me that time.
You're welcome,
but
sir.
I have to get this off my chest. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, former government minister, Mr. Peter Josie. The broadcast continues in just a moment. You'll be hearing from the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. It is worth reminding you his position on the citizenship CIP, the Citizenship by Investment Program.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucelec.com for assistance. Lucelec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo is more with flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more with flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, can't stop. Unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more say the tingo. It's more with flow now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Craving an unforgettable experience? Immerse yourself in pulsating rhythms. Libate your palate with the finest booze. It's Rhythm and Booze, a jazz Sunday unlike any other. Indulge in a breakfast-inclusive event at the Sandals Golf and Country Club, May 12th from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Dance to the sounds of St. Lucia's hottest DJs and savor your favorite breakfast dishes. Rhythm and Booze. Get your early bird tickets now for $150, $175 regular. Available at all sell outlets and eventbrite.com. Don't miss this unforgettable Jazz Sunday. Rhythm and Booze. Sandals Golf and Country Club, May 12th. Rhythm and Booze.
This event is powered by Chairman's Reserve, JB Chenet, and KFC.
Cause when we roll, we don't roll alone.
Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. On the fringe of St. Lucia Jazz, yet taking main focus is Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. Featuring Taunton legend, Future Lights, Robsai and Finesse, TYP, Ricky T, Jefferson John, Headliners, Nyla Blackman. Skinny Fabulous, Taurus Riley,
She's royal, yeah, so royal.
presented by the Soufre Event Management Organization. Sunday, May 5th at the Soufre Mini Stadium from 3 p.m. General admission $130 EC, VIP $400 EC. Get your tickets at fourcirclestickets.com. SRDF, The Cell, Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience.
Hey guys, guess what? Because your dad deserves more, Europa is giving more. They're bringing back the wow on Friday, June 14th with the very popular Culture Day for Father's Day. Last year was a blast and this year will be explosive. So fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, all the dads of St. Lucia and All the bombs will stand for that. We are knocking out 15% discount on all pressure washers, vacuum cleaners, upholstery cleaners, in fact, on all carton machines. And that's not all. With turbo impact drills, rotary hammer drills, angle grinders, power saws, jigsaws, and sanders too. This year we are throwing the kitchen sink out for dads.
Messi, ça non vle encore. Pour les diwi.
Europa June 14th. IMAX.
Those who didn't see it and who wanted to base an economic strategy on that, like the opposition in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they now get their comeuppance. You see how mature judgment is brought to bear when I say this thing is not sustainable. You can't base your economic development on this. You can't finance your budget on these kinds of monies. Apart from the principle which I've always stated and the practicality, purely, if even those who could have been satisfied, which they are not in my view, because the highest office in the land is that of citizen, not for sale. The passport is the outward sign of the inward grace of citizenship, not for sale. The question of people telling me that you can check to see who these individuals are and so on, you don't have the machinery to do it. And the volume you have to do to make money off of it, you're going to run into difficulties. And this thing was just a matter of time. It's not only the European, not only the British. The European Union Commission had a meeting with those same governments.
Within the OECS?
Within the OECS. And they have told them, look, we have come to tell you that's not a matter of if, not a matter of this thing may happen. This thing is happening. It's when we are going to bring down the hammer, and the hammer is coming down shortly.
That is the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not speaking last week or last month, but last year. And you see what has happened right now with the CIP as far as St. Lucia, the likes of Dominica, Grenada, and St. Kitts. They have to answer to the European Union, and a number of questions are being asked, and people are being summoned to meetings, and all kind of claims and allegations are being made at this point in time. Let's see if we can take a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Rick Wayne. Yes, good afternoon to you, Rick Wayne.
Timothy.
Who's that?
I want to tell you something, Timothy.
Initially, it did not sound like Rick. Rick.
Timothy, St. Lucia finish it. St. Lucia finish it. Believe me, Timothy, St. Lucia finish. You know. Oh God.
I mean,
Tim, a quick thing for you. I was in Derek Walker's company once in a group of people, and he didn't like what we were saying about St. Lucia and how we were going to get the hell out of here and blah, blah, blah. And the man just blasted at everybody there. And I've told that story before, and I'll give another end of it, where he said, you guys call yourself my friends? Because we were at a little party, lunch party thrown in his honor in Beaufort. And he said, you guys call yourself my friend. He listened to everybody's gripe. I wasn't griping, by the way. I was myself listening. And Derek Walker suddenly exploded on the guys. He said, you guys call yourself my friends? You know what St. Lucia has meant to my work, my career, my whole life? I'm at the end of my rope. You guys are relatively young. And because St. Lucia is in a lot of trouble, the only thing you can think of is to run away. And then when I said, not me, Derek, that's when he shouted at me. I want to repeat it so people will remember it. I've said it to you before. Until you, as for you, Rick Wayne, until you have accomplished what you set out to do, you have not done enough. And the guy was in tears. I will never forget that incident. And I say that because obviously Peter George is angry at that woman. Her name is actually Julianne Harmson.
Okay? I think she's from Switzerland or wherever, anyway. And she wrote the book, A History of St. Lucia. Tim, I doubt very much you will see Alan Shastney, any Shastney mentioned in that whole book. I want to also add that you, and I suspect Guy may have privately, if you read that book, you would have a lot of complaints about the facticity, because a lot of stuff she speculates on and she opines on, etc. Ironically, she autographed a copy for me way back when the book came out, and I can tell you we didn't get along very well. Because I was questioning a lot of what she wrote and her possible motives, and how she was very much into the politics of St. Lucia, and a great fan of Kenny Anthony. Okay, so I dare say she's a supporter of the Labour Party. Although I acknowledge you can be a great fan of Kenny Anthony, even back in the day, and not be necessarily a fan of the Labour Party. Okay?
Yeah.
That people don't understand that. I may like Alan Shastney, and I'm counting on him to do this and that, and I may have very little time for the people around him. You get my point?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to call her any Labour Party supporter or a hack or whatever. I put it to you that she liked Kenny Anthony a lot. She admired him a lot. And almost every criticism I made of Kenny Anthony, valid as they were, verifiable as they were, she disagreed with, and Kenny was the cat's pajamas as far as she was concerned. But I don't think the woman mentioned once Shastney in her book. I just went through the index. I can't find that there. So whatever she was doing in Vieux-Fort, what was that occasion about?
I'm not too sure, because I saw the clip and I was wondering what was the occasion and what was that event. I don't know.
It would be very interesting to know what the occasion was about, whether it had anything to do with the politics, etc. But I know how she feels about Kenny Anthony, But I didn't like for 1 minute. It seemed so retrogressive, although I should have expected it. While I disagree with the woman on a number of points, including what she says about who was a cannibal and who was not, and giving versions, and she did her research. She obviously went to other people who had written before, because what she's writing about, she was not witness to.
Yeah.
Okay? So she did her research and wrote a pretty interesting book called The History of St. Lucia. I want to tell you also, it's a big favorite of tourists as well. But as far as I'm concerned, there's a lot that's not quite true. There's a lot that's controversial. There's a lot that's her personal opinion and her biases, all of which all writers have. But I wouldn't say she did any of those things because she's white, Tim. Because if you're going to say that, then you can't criticize those who call Kenny Anthony white. Mm-hmm. I mean, not Kenny Anthony.
Alan Shastney.
Alan Shastney white. Yeah. She obviously, like Labour Party people, does not like Alan Shastney. She doesn't. And she's saying if Compton was there, well, I can tell you from personal experience, I know who Shastney didn't, who Compton definitely didn't want in the party, and had no choice finally. I think you know who too.
Yeah.
Because it's on the record. I think everybody in St. Lucia knows. Would I be correct in assuming that?
I think so. Most people, not everybody, but most people.
Most people, you make a big difference, huh?
Yeah.
Most people in St. Lucia would know who Compton did not want in his party in 2006. I think most people would know that.
Yeah.
But Shastney, if I may be wrong, but I recall very much that before Shastney was brought in as tourism minister, and I know a lot about that story because I was there. Again, I write personal stuff that I witnessed personally. Compton had a lot of faith in Alan Shastney. Compton had a lot of time for the Shastneys. When Compton was with problems, headaches, and everything else, when the UN scandal was going on, you know where he would go to cool his head off and have private meetings related to the inquiry as well,
at Sir Michael's,
including some with me
at Sir Michael's residence.
At the home,
Sir Michael.
At the home, pardon?
The home of Sir Michael.
Yeah, at the home of Michael Shastney. So Michael Shastney and Compton. I don't know the rest of the family because there was a falling out. But Sir John Compton, I know, was very close to the Chastain's. Sir John Compton, I think Alan worked with Oswald Doverne in Compton's time.
Yeah.
And he then became tourism minister. But I think even before that, he worked with Oswald Doverne in the time of, what's your name, the one who died?
Dwight Venner?
Dwight Venner, etc. So to suggest that if Compton was there, he wouldn't have, that's not true. That's not true. And I'm not going to guess anything else, but on that, and there's a lot in that book that gives cause for pause. Now, Peter is also very concerned that the woman would dare say she edited
Guy Ellis's, yeah.
But you see, you can edit a thing for length, Tim. It costs money based on the size of your book. So the woman may well have been talking in terms of the length of the book. She certainly is no person Guy would need to edit him in terms of how he writes.
Mm-hmm.
Or even in the banana thing, Tim, if you were to read that book, there's a section on bananas or whatever, you would find much to question. Much. So there are a lot of things to question in the book, but it's very popular with tourists because we don't want to write and we don't read. We don't read. Even as I speak, I wonder how many St. Lucians have read this book, and they should, for interest, just to know what I'm talking about, just to be in a position to say what Josie said, is it true or not? But I am not going to put any criticism I have against of the book on the woman's color, on the woman's race. I'm not going to do that. If I did that, then I couldn't talk about Alan Chastanet being criticized on the basis of his race. We have to be very, very careful. If we don't stop that crap, St. Lucia really finishy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rick. Very entertaining, Rick, especially at the commencement of his content. I mean, for a moment there, I knew it was Rick because I saw his number on the WhatsApp platform. When I took the call, I was saying hello. I could not believe that is Rick Wayne that I know. What's in the chat room, Kibani?
Someone in the chat did say, Tim, you needed that laugh from Rick. Good one, Rick. Say it in a language that they understand because some of them have selective outrage. Good one. Another comment, St. Lucians vote for all of this madness. Tim, it was an emancipation celebration, referring to the video you saw of the woman. White, purple, pink, or green, PM Alan Chastanet is the man. Let's see. Someone says the leader of the opposition doesn't have to be there. That is not important. People are wasting time on these things that makes no sense. You are taking your time just to call to say that the things that you care about don't make sense. Tim, the PM criticized the opposition for sitting in the back of a pickup, insinuating that he didn't sit the right way. Doesn't the PM know that the way Chastanet sat in the pickup was the safest way to do so? That's the way they should have had Julian Alfred sitting in a vehicle to ensure her safety. The petty things that consume a press conference. Whereas we have bigger fish to fry, SMH. Someone says this CIP will explode very soon. Those in law offices getting their commission will soon have to answer to the law. Someone says there are people born and raised in St. Lucia, Tim, and can't speak Creole, Tim. PJP always fighting with himself when trying to speak Creole, Tim.
Well, I grew up with my granny,
Mhm.
so and she could not speak English fluently, so I, picked up a few Creole phrases here and there, like tineg and then Vini tineg, now tineg sabafe, tineg.
Someone says St. Lucia don't have any other entertainment than politics. Another comment, the caller has a good point about his anonymity. He can also express his disappointment with the leader of the opposition's absence, whether we support it or not. Another comment, thank you, Mr. Josie, for bringing this up. I thought the same as well. She sold herself when she said if Compton was here, he would have gone with PGP. That is why I say we know our people from the things they say. Historians are tasked with documenting history as it evolves and not attempt to change its course. History cannot be manipulated if it is history. And someone else says, good, Kimani, you read the comments. Bravo. That's it in the chat, Tim.
Thank you so much. Our final feature, let's hear now from the National Security Minister of Dominica, Rayburn Blackmore. Speaking during a ceremony, I think it was yesterday, National Security Minister of Dominica, Rayburn Blackmore.
We had moved from, during the early stage of that migration process, that an application process time taking a couple months. And then we had gotten to a point, because of the system that we had put in place, where applicants were getting the passports after 1 week of application. That happens nowhere in the Caribbean. For a matter of fact, a couple months ago, I went to a ministerial meeting in a neighboring country. And while I was being driven by the driver who was assigned to me, heading to a meeting, I saw a huge crowd hanging out, well, in a line outside a building. So I asked what was happening. He said to me, Mr. Minister, you people have to come early to get a chance to deposit the application for a passport. And he said to me further, they may leave and not having the opportunity to deposit that passport because the doors might be shut in their faces. We did not do that. We ensured that we put systems in place to address such a situation. In the contractual arrangement, there was a set number of books. As you may have heard before, that number of books were fully utilized. As a responsible government, we approved for 50,000 additional books. I'm happy to report here this morning that we have no backlog at the Immigration Department. For a matter of fact, I call on you who have been called by the Immigration Department to pick up a passport to do so. As I speak, there are 214 passports awaiting pickup, and the staff of the Immigration Department have been calling the people to actually pick up the passport. The process time is now 2 weeks. And what we do as a responsible government is not simply to catalog problems and to catalog issues. Running a government is about managing issues when they emerge and finding solutions.
National Security Minister of Dominica, Rayburn Blackmore, speaking in his homeland yesterday. Running a government is about the issues when they emerge and finding solutions. And he also said that you have over 200 passports that are ready for pickup over in Dominica. And he's actually begging Dominicans, come pick up your passport. In the case of St. Lucia, it's a totally different issue. And he made reference also an experience he had in a Caribbean island, and you could imagine which island that is. And the driver told him that the long queues you're seeing out there, people are waiting so that they can apply for their passport or collect their passport. So you could just guess, that was St. Lucia. Shame on us in St. Lucia. The myriad of problems that we have, we do not have any kind of mechanism, any method to address those problems. What we like to do is to highlight the problem, report it, emphasize its existence, but we just cannot fix it. And we'll hear that later from the Prime Minister when he delivers his budget address at 5 o'clock this afternoon. And we like to claim, in the case of our island, that we're so progressive and we have made strides. We have 2 Nobel laureates, and we're more successful than this island and that island, more successful than Dominica. That's what's happening as far as their passport, accessing a Dominican passport as an ordinary citizen, the National Security Minister is begging Dominican nationals to collect their passports. Over 200 passports ready for pickup. And also it takes only 2 weeks. You apply for a passport, 2 weeks later in Dominica or in DA country, you get your passport. All right, finally, our NewsSpin news of the day. UN warns Haiti's capital blockaded. No aid for malnourished children. Our NewsSpin news of the day. UN warns Haiti's capital blockaded. No aid for malnourished children. You realize I'm not saying anything about Haiti anymore. I'm not saying anything about Haiti. Our question of the day. What are your fears for St. Lucia's CIP? What are your fears for St. Lucia's CIP? And that is the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world. My name is Timothy Poleon. Have yourself continue to have an enjoyable Tuesday. We hope it is enjoyable. And you could join me tomorrow afternoon, same time, 12:30, for another edition of NewsSpin. Goodbye.